Hello and welcome to another ADLC digital lesson. Today our lesson is on building an electromagnet. Today we're going to build and test an electromagnet with some simple materials: some wire, sandpaper, a rubber band, an iron nail, some AA batteries. We're also going to use some paper clips to test our electromagnets with, and also some tape. Now our first step in building an electromagnet is to remove the insulation from the ends of the wire. And that is easily done by using a bit of sandpaper. Simply wrap the end of the wire in the sandpaper and then rub it a few times until you can see that the wire has been stripped clean of the insulation. Now your wire will be able to make good contact with the battery. Our next step is to get our battery ready, and that's simply done by taking the rubber band and stretching it over the ends of the battery. That way we'll be able to slip the wire under the ends and the rubber band will hold the wire in place. Now we're going to prepare our electromagnet by wrapping the wire around the iron nail. All we need to do is make a nice, tight, neat 20 wraps of wire loop around the iron nail. When we're all done, the wire will be coiled around the iron nail. Now it's time to connect our electromagnet to the battery. Slide the sanded ends of the wire underneath the rubber band at each end of the AA battery. Now once you've done this, it's a really good idea to use the small pieces of sandpaper to put between your finger and the ends of the battery. That way you can squeeze hard and make sure that the wire is making good contact with the battery without fear of your fingers getting hot. Now an optional step at this point is to use a small bar magnet to test and see if your electromagnet is working. If it is, it should be attracted and have some force when the bar magnet is brought close to it. But we're going to test our electromagnet to see how many paper clips it can pick up. The more paper clips it can pick up, the stronger the electromagnet is. So simply take your electromagnet and put it into the pile of paper clips. Move them around a little bit, and then slowly and carefully lift up to see how many paper clips that the electromagnet can hold. And it looks like with a single AA battery and 20 loops of wire, this electromagnet can barely pick up one or maybe two paper clips. Now we're going to change our electromagnet by adding more wire loops. We're going to wrap it around 20 more times so that we have a total of 40 loops of wire on the electromagnet. Now we take care to reconnect to the battery, and we use the electromagnet to repeat the test on the paper clips. And what we find this time is that the electromagnet picks up 3 or maybe 4 paper clips. So it would seem that adding more loops of wire to an electromagnet makes the electromagnet more powerful. Now we're going to test our electromagnet with 2 batteries that have been taped together. You can use the rubber band over both batteries to make your wire connections, just like you did before. Use the same technique of using sandpaper on the end to protect your fingers once you connect your electromagnet to the 2 batteries. By using the 2 battery electromagnet with 20 loops of wire, we can see that the electromagnet picks up about 4 or 5 paper clips. But what will happen if we use even more loops of wire? Testing our 2 battery electromagnet with 40 loops of wire can pick up about 6 paper clips pretty easily. So it seems that adding more batteries and more wire loops makes electromagnets more powerful.